Hey guys, Ultra Maximus here from the Blizzard of 2012. It's the day after Christmas, and we got a heck of a snowstorm here in Indiana. Some places got about 6 inches, some places got up to about 15 inches. We're about 7 or 8 inches here in Greenwood, Indiana. And I went out this morning. It was Christmas yesterday, so the stores were closed. So I had to pick up dog food and some other things. And while I was there, I picked up some movies, some Blu-rays, and I'm glad I did because, well, now we're snowed in, so it's a movie day. And today's choice was Total Recall, the extended edition. Now, this is the Steelbook version of the film. This is a Walmart exclusive. This is actually the first Steelbook I've ever actually purchased for myself, and the case is kind of cool. I like the exterior of the case. I don't like the interior of the case, and I'll get to that here in a second. This is the 2012 remake of Total Recall. The original was by Schwarzenegger, or with Schwarzenegger, and this has got Colin Farrell and Kate Beckinsale and Jessica Biel, and they are smoking hot in this film. It's kind of funny because this is the second remake that I really kind of like that Jessica Biel is in. She was in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre about 10 years ago, which is kind of cool. This case is pretty neat. I like the cover here. Got a nice little background going on. We got the old school Total Recall logo there. The little robot, kind of iRobots cops are in this thing. And then we've got the backside that's got Kate looking amazingly hot and Jessica looking hot too. But I think Kate beats Jessica. I think she's a lot hotter. And then, of course, we got Colin up here at the top. Now, the inside of this... all right. We've got... This is the piece that was stuck on the back that's got all the different features and everything. It's got an hour and a half of special features. It's got both the theatrical and director's cut on this version. It's got 20 minutes of extra footage, including an alternate ending, which is a waste of time. I'll kind of talk about that. And then some other things here and there, that kind of stuff. And then, of course, you got your ultraviolet, and then you've got how to download your ultraviolet, and then there's a video game type of thing. So that's that. Now, inside. I do like how the inside cover has additional pictures. I think that is really cool. But we've got the Blu-ray copy here. There's a DVD copy and another Blu-ray with special features. Now, one of my gripes about this. These discs do not tell you which is the film and which is the special features. They all say, even the DVD copy, original movie on it, which is kind of bullshit. The other thing I don't like is this inside of this steel case. I don't like that design of those two discs sitting on top of each other. That peg could scratch the other one. I'm not really digging that, so I moved the DVD over and put my Blu-ray by itself so it does not get scratched up. So I was not a fan of that. I was kind of I don't know, do all steelbooks come like that? If you've got steelbooks, let me know. I'd be interested to know about that because that kind of disappointed me. I didn't like that. Now the Steelbook Edition is a Walmart exclusive, supposedly. That's what it said on the case when I bought it. Again, I don't know if that is the case or not, but I picked it up at Walmart, $25. So this film, I went and seen it at theater originally, and I went ahead and picked it up. I do like the film. I think it's fun. There are flaws with the film, and I'll talk about that. But overall, I think it is a good movie. I did render some of the scenes in 3D. I haven't watched the whole thing in 3D yet, but the scenes that I did render looked very well. I rendered the scenes in Britain, the scenes in Australia, the scenes where they're driving around the little magnetic cars, and then the scenes where they're in Chinatown, and they all look phenomenal in 3D. So, and I think this was originally supposed to be 3D, and they didn't end up releasing it in 3D. I think they had budget or time constraints or something, and that's kind of unfortunate. However, the film is pretty good. I mean, it's about the same storyline that the first one is, where you've got the same characters. You've got an average Joe worker who wants to change his life. He goes to this place called Recall to implant a spy memory into his head, kind of a vacation thing. And things go awry. He turns out he is a spy, etc., etc., etc. Well, in this version, instead of Mars and Earth, at the end of the 21st century, there was chemical warfare. Most of the planet's polluted. And there's only 2 spots people can live. Britain and Australia, the United Federation of Britain, which is basically Europe and Australia, and they get back and forth via a giant subway called the Fall. And there's some pretty big plot holes with that. Why? And because they travel outside in the no zone, but there's no barrier protecting the cities from the uninhabitable areas. That doesn't make any sense to me. The other problems with the film, the main bad guy, who's what's his name? Braston? Hang on a second. He's from Breaking Bad, and he's from Malcolm in the Middle. Bryan Cranston. I'm sorry. Bryan Cranston. He's the main bad guy. He's the head of the British United Federation of Britain, and he wants to invade the colony, Australia, because there's not enough room in Britain, and they need to, expand for their citizens and all this, that, and the other. And at the same time, the colony is vying for their independence from the UFB, which that screws the entire plot up. It's like the first film where the colony of Mars wanted their independence from Earth. Okay, that makes sense. However, in this one, if Australia is the colony of Britain, why would you invade your own colony for your citizens when they are your citizens? It doesn't make any sense, and it kind of screws the whole plot up. That just really irritated me. And the colony's basically your workers, your blue-collar people, your poor people, and Britain's the upper crust sort of deal. And the one thing I do like about this movie, one of the really nice things I like about this film, Kate Beckinsale's character is really, really cool. She's smoking hot, but she is essentially Sharon Stone's character from the first film. However, she has much more to do with this in this movie. She's kind of the primary bad guy. She's the one chasing Quaid all over the place, and she is a badass. She is pretty darn awesome. So I did like that. I thought that was probably one of the nicer things about this film. There are other things. It just utterly disgusted me when I saw Obama's face on money. I know it's Hollywood liberals and they want to make it relevant to today, and they're all up his ass, and I just find him to be a repulsive human being. But it was just like, really, But some of the other nice things about the movie, lots of nods to the original Schwarzenegger film. They had a reference to Mars where they're talking about going to recall and then messing with your mind with like trips to Mars and stuff. And he's like, "Oh, I'd like to go to Mars." And then we've also got the ugly fat woman at the airport, with Schwarzenegger's disguise. Well, she's in this, or a woman that looks like her is in this. She has the same lines, but Farrell's disguise is different, but it acts similar to Schwarzenegger disguise, which is kind of cool. And there are other little things here and there. There are nods to it. The chick with the 3 boobs, she's in it as well, which is odd because they flat out show her tits. But this is a PG-13 film. Have our morals fallen that far where you could just flat out show frontal nudity and it be PG-13? That is saying something about society today. It just... But overall, I mean, it's pretty good. I like it. They got these... Farrell works... He's a worker that works in this robot factory, kind of iRobot-ish sort of thing. It's got a lot of looks from iRobot and Blade Runner and Star Wars and a lot of these things. I really did like the mag cars in the UFB is pretty cool. But there's another problem there. All of the cars, they're like Chrysler 300Ms. Future versions or something, and they're all silver except for the cop cars. Why are there no design changes? I thought that was kind of lazy of the animators. Change up the different cars, add different colors. They didn't do any of that, and that was just, in my opinion, pure laziness. And the other issue was when they dropped the cars off the maglift down to the streets of London, they were just regular cars from today, and this is supposed to be at the end of the century. I mean, there was a freaking smart car there, and it's just like, really? Couldn't make any kind of alterations to those things. So Yes, there are flaws to this film, but overall, it is a good adventure. It is fun. They've got nice nods to the original. If you do have a 3D television that can convert 3D, it does convert very well. The alternate ending is kind of a ripoff. This is a spoiler. The only difference in the regular ending versus the alternate ending is he looks down at his arm where he had the little stamp of the peace symbol, and it's gone at the end of this one. And she's like, "Oh, you can hardly believe it, huh?" And he looks up at the recall sign. Well, in the theatrical, he doesn't look down at his arm. Everything else is exactly the same. So that's kind of a ripoff as far as an advertisement of why you would want to get this. I personally stick with the theatrical version. It's cheaper. It's about $5 cheaper, maybe $10 cheaper. Depends on where you get it, I suppose. If you do want the 10, I guess you got to go to Walmart, and it only comes with the extended cut. So it is kind of nice. I wouldn't buy the thing just for the 10, but if you're a Steelbook fan, you might want to. But yeah, overall, I do recommend checking it out, taking a look at it. It is a good movie. It's fun. It's a decent remake. And, well, you've got two of the hottest women on Earth in the movie, so you can't go wrong. So there it is, Total Recall. I hope everybody had a happy holiday. Be careful. It is bad out there if you're in the United States, from the out West Plains through the Midwest. New Year's is coming up, so I hope you have a good New Year, everybody. And look for more videos in the future!